Hello, welcome to Prime Sports with me, Razak Musbao. Now, the Black Stars of Ghana cruised to a convincing 3-1 win over Liberia in an international friendly match earlier today at the Accra Sports Stadium. It was Ernest Nuamah, Mohamed Kudus and Jordan Ayew who were on target for the Stars to complete the September international window with a 100% win. Yeah, highlight of that game. Well, Ernest Nuamah spoke to the media after the game and he said scoring back-to-back goals for Ghana has boosted his confidence.
Yeah, I would say it has, because my first debut goal for Ghana was in Kumasi, and it's my community, and it helped Ghana qualify for the African Cup, and yeah, I'm highly motivated. They are the players we look up to, and not only him, a lot of the senior players in the squad, and it's also a motivation for us, like being on the same pitch with them, scoring goals is motivation, and this keeps me going, because one, I was watching him on the TV, and now you're on the pitch with him doing great things for Ghana.
Well, for head coach Chris Seaton, despite the 3-1 win over Liberia, he believes there is more room for improvement.
Ideally, would love all the squad to be playing regular at their clubs, but generally this is not the case. Some play regular, some play sporadically, some play at a very high level, some play at a level not so high. So the most important thing is that when they're with us, it's about what you can get out of them in 2 days, which is difficult. We only have 2 days training before the first game. But it's picking a side that you think can compete well, can get a result, and in this second game it was very much for us to try something different as regards the formation that we played. Play some players that are very much part of what we do that didn't play in the first game, and that's a hard balance, because on top of that, what you want to do is it's important to win the game also, just for the feel of the group, and of course going forward. And of course for us to score, disappointed to concede the goal at the end, but to score 3 goals, and in a game where maybe we could have scored more, then I have to be happy with that. I think you can always look to improve, but the really good advantage of this game was that, as I said, before the Central African Republic game, we in effect had 2 days training. So if we didn't have this second game, then probably the players would have gone back to their clubs the next day, and in effect we would have had them for 2 days training and 1 game. So this was important because we were able to do some work with them leading up to this second game. We tried a different formation because I think these are the type of games where perhaps you can try things. Even though it's not to the detriment of the result, we still want to win the game, and we still want to be as strong as possible. But certainly I've seen enough in the 2 games to always give me confidence. There's still things we could have done better. Today in the first half, I thought we gave the ball away. The pitch was difficult with obviously with the rain, but I thought we gave the ball away too easily at times in that first half period, and sometimes you need that to settle into the game, and sometimes you need to get that first goal to calm everybody down. So, but I've seen enough in the 2 games to be confident and optimistic, and looking forward, of course, to the next camp.
Now, Black Stars right back Ali Seidu, who played a crucial part in the team's 2-1 win over Central African Republic to qualify for the AFCON, has opened up on his time with the national team and the experience of playing at the Accra Sports Stadium, which he describes as an honor to don the national team jersey. Now, Ghana Football Association President Kete Kriku has called on clubs participating in next year's Ghana Premier League to prioritize efforts aimed at bringing fans back to the stadium. Addressing the stakeholders at the maiden edition of the Ghana Football Association Awards, he stated that the fans remain an integral part of the football industry, and having them at the stadium must be the focus. Now, all students of Infantipim Boys Senior High School and the Citadel College came together for the 16th edition of the Santa Mobile Fan Day Games at the Burma Camp Sports Complex over the weekend. Now, the games returned for the first time this year after 5 years of no show. Infantipim winning big. Now, Loris Baidu was there, and he came through with this report.
Annual event is aimed at bringing old boys of the two schools together on a friendly and social platform, with sports identified as a platform to achieve the intended results while also involving current students. The theme for this year's event was Beyond the Rivalry, Uniting Through Sports. Old boys of the two schools thrilled spectators at the Burma Camp Sports Complex with sporting activities on the day. Football, table tennis, lawn tennis, and basketball were among the games that took place during this year's event, with year groups playing each other. Infantipim claimed victory over Adisadel in the table tennis and basketball events. In the alumni's basketball game, Infantipim won with a 36-33 scoreline, before the current school team also claimed a 63-40 win over Adisco's current school team. The 1970s, 1980s and 1990s year groups were also involved in a penalty shootout in the football event, which saw Adisadel claim 2 victories while Infantipim recorded 1. The 2000s year group of Adisadel also handed Infantipim Old Boys a 5-0 defeat in a 7-a-side football. Co-chairman of the planning committee and an old student of Infantipim, Kojo Morgan, said it was good to reconnect with old friends once again after several years.
I think it's all about, like you said, the bond. It's a solid bond. And this is something that started in Cape Coast. We in 1876, they in 1910. But somehow we have always respected each other. There's no doubt about it. There's a rivalry. When you have sports, you have, even in academics, we win. But I tell you, some of the best friends are from both schools. You see, I mean, I've known this gentleman for how many years now? Yes, and we're very, very, very good friends, you see. So we don't carry it beyond, you see. Rather, we look at how we can harness that, that potential, so that we can get something good out of it.
Said Jojome, also a co-chairman of the planning committee and an old student of Adisadel, expressed his delight with the attendance at the sports complex for this year's event after a 5-year absence.
Frankly, if you ask me, quite impressive. We know we could have made a little more of the crowd, especially knowing the organization we put behind it. But we admit that the rains, we here have been on the outskirts of Accra. But you look at the crowd, very impressive. And for me, the attendance is good. And I think that we are happy that the corporates came along, and then we believe that they benefited from it. I've asked a couple of their sponsors, and they are showing great interest in the fact that this is a good organization, and they think that they want to be part of it. And for me, that's a big, big deal.
The games was climaxed with a football fixture between the current school teams of the two schools, where Infantipim proved too good for Adisadel as they claimed a 3-0 victory. Other activities that took place included a Jama session, musical session from the regimental bands of both schools, as well as health screening.
And that's where we draw the curtains on tonight's edition of Prime Sports with me, Razak Musbaut. There's more stories on myjoyonline.com/sports. We'll be back sometime tomorrow. Have a lovely evening.